parties about going to space here in Hollywood, but the real space cadets, we all know, are in Florida. The first ever manned flight of the Boeing Starliner Spacecraft launched today after multiple delays with a pair of NASA astronauts on board. Boeing seems to have trouble getting to Cincinnati. Should they be headed into space? I don't know. They put extra duct tape on the doors just to be safe. The astronauts are headed to the International Space Station. They'll get there tomorrow with an important piece of equipment on board.
You know, going to the bathroom up at the International Space Station is pretty important. And up there, they recycle all of the astronauts' urine, turn it into drinking water. But there's a problem with that recycling pump, the urine recycling pump, so to speak. So they're bringing up a replacement part to hopefully rid the astronauts up there of all the bags of urine that are sitting around the space station right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you, that definitely isn't on the list of activities at space camp. I had no idea being an astronaut was so glamorous. Man, that wasn't the only nerve-wracking flight of the day. President Biden today touched down in Paris. Careful, go easy. Take it one step at a time. All right. Good, good, good. And okay. Very good. We did it. The trip is already a success. Biden is in France to commemorate the 80th anniversary of D-Day and also to dig up some of the old nudie mags he and the boys in his platoon buried there in 1944. He's traveling freely without permission from a probation officer, which is refreshing. Meanwhile, our former president, Napoleon Bonaparte, you may remember when he was in France a few years ago, he refused to visit a cemetery filled with fallen American soldiers because it was raining and he didn't want to mess up his hair. And he also told his chief of staff the cemetery was filled with losers and suckers. And now he would like to be our president again. His, if there's one thing that Donald Trump has stuck to, and there aren't many things, he's a real contradict-head, but if there's one maxim by which he stands, it is his strong opposition to voting by mail.
Mail-in voting is totally corrupt. Get that through your head. Mail-in voting opened the floodgates to massive fraud. There is no way you can go through a mail-in vote without massive cheating. You'll never have an honest election with a mail-in ballot. On mail-in voting, 20% of the ballots were rigged and broken and disgusting. Somebody got a ballot for a dog. Never do mail-in ballots because you'll never have an honest election. We don't want mail-in voting. Mail-in ballots will lead to the greatest fraud. Mail-in ballots, you know, are going to be corrupt. Mail-in ballots had been stolen from mailboxes and hidden under a rock. If we're going to have mail-in ballots, we're never going to have honest elections.
Okay, but that was all the way back in 2020. This is what he thinks about it now.
Whether you vote early, absentee, by mail, or in person, we must swamp the radical Democrats with massive turnout. You want to save America, register, get an absentee or mail-in ballot, vote early.
That's right. Mike Lindell must be rolling his pillow van in a ditch right now. I mean, after all the whining and the bitching and the complaining and the allegations, Trump would like you to mail your votes in. And no one bats an eye. There's no explanation whatsoever. After going 0 for 34 in court last week, the big orange felon head appears to be benefiting from some of the conflicted judges he complained about so much in New York. Cases against Trump in Florida and Georgia are hitting a big, beautiful wall that Mexico didn't even have to pay for. Georgia appeals court today delayed the election subversion case there indefinitely. This is the one about the perfect phone call he made asking the Georgia Secretary of State to get him 11,000 votes. And in the hiding top secret documents in this toilet case, Eileen Cannon, the Trump-appointed judge, slowed the case down even more than she already has. And as a result, neither of the cases is likely to go to trial before the election. And the Supreme Court is yet to weigh in on Trump's claim that he has total immunity, which is slowing down the January 6th case, too. Man, if Biden is weaponizing the justice system, he's doing an absolutely terrible job. He should be fired for that alone. In Major League Baseball, a very big gambling scandal is resulting in some very serious punishment. A number of players, including San Diego Padres infielder, or former infielder, Tucupita Marcano, has been banned for life for placing nearly 400 bets on baseball, more than 230 of them on his former team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. 25 of the bets were made while he was an active member of the Pirates roster. And maybe the most embarrassing part of the whole thing is he wasn't even good at it. He won just over 4% of all his baseball-related bets. He lost 96% of the... Forget the lifetime ban on playing. He should get a lifetime ban from betting. Imagine. And now he can't play anymore. Imagine making it all the way from Venezuela. You get to the San Diego Padres and you screw up so badly, you have to move back in with your actual Padre. June, as you probably know, is Pride Month, which means a lot of parades, a lot of pride. We had a big one here in West Hollywood on Sunday. If you've never been to this parade, the floats are very elaborate. Companies, community groups, organizations, even celebrities get these massive displays together, these floats. And while most of them are very creative, there are some that aren't great. And every year they have a vote, and these are the 5 least popular Pride floats for 2024. Are you ready? Number 5, the Fishing Channel. Number 4, Boost Mobile Customer Service. Number 3, the flatware section at Marshall's. Number 2, Campbell's Chunky Beef Stew. And the number 1 least popular float at this year's Pride Parade, Dr. Scholl's Plantar Fasciitis Pain Relief Insoles. They are, in addition to Pride Month being a time for gay people to celebrate their sexuality, coming out, etc., it is also, and this is important too, a time for straight people to do weird, angry things to get attention from cable news.
All right, it is Pride Month. The Rainbow Mafia shoving their agenda down our throats for 30 days. Hide your kids, or maybe take them to Boise, Idaho, where a bar on the outskirts of town called the Old State Saloon is turning June into Hetero-Sexual Awesomeness Month. Every Monday in the month of June will be Hetero Male Monday, where free draft beers will be given to any straight guy who's dressed like a straight guy. There's going to be a judge to determine if the men are dressed straight or not.
Wait a minute, hold on, let me see if I have this straight. So the idea is guys show up at a bar and another guy judges their outfits? I mean, it's... actually one of the gayer things I've ever heard. It's basically Queer Eye, isn't it? That's what they do. Now, over in Missouri, no local politician has gotten into the Pride Month spirit less than a very, very crazy young woman who's running for Secretary of State there. Her name is Valentina Gomez, and she is running on quite an unusual platform.
It's 6 a.m., and I'm doing the 15-mile run from St. Louis City to Creveport, Missouri, without the hundreds of patrons that wanted to join me because I pissed off a bunch of weak and gay people that always find a way to mess things up. So you and watching me become Missouri's 41st Secretary of State.
I know. Remember the days when you could be sure someone like that would lose the election? I mean, that can't be a real candidate.
I will never support a company that wants to empower and protect pedophiles and groomers in our schools and libraries. So feed your dog something that is now weak and gay. This is good versus evil.
Oh, I'm amazed that domain name was still available. Listen, here's a rule of thumb. Whatever your beliefs, don't vote for anyone who says libraries, okay? Anyway, Pride Month, unfortunately, is a great excuse for some of these right-wingers to spew poison. The new thing they're pretending to be very outraged by is an animal documentary that premieres tomorrow on Peacock called Queer Planet.
It's clear that no matter where you look on our planet, nature is full of queer surprises. Gay penguins, bisexual lions, sex-changing clownfish.
This is a queer planet.
I've always said that. You know, the Earth is Siegfried and our moon is Roy. It's really... So anyway, a number now people are, of course, are very, very angry. They've been posting about this. They're turning our monkeys gay now, that kind of thing. And there are even some wildlife sanctuaries making a thing out of this, too.
Want to see wild animals but don't want to be exposed to their woke and ultra-gay agendas? Grab the kids and step into the Straight Zoo, where every animal is a heterosexual red-blooded breeder. Alpha males and heady betties, cis sloths, guy hyenas, get-her-done gorillas, horny hornbills, motorboating otters, and donkeys whose pronouns are he and haw. If you're looking for flamingos, you can right off. All our creatures are penis-fearing patriots, flag-loving felines, MAGA meerkats, and not-so-curious bison.
The Straight Zoo, located on South Willis Street in Beaumont, Texas, right behind the Holy Spirit's Christian Church and Liquor Store.
It's the zoo for you.